Maybe. Hi, we're live. This is Crystal from.
Hi.
Hi, Mara. This is Crystal from Big Sexy Chat Unplugged. It's our new version of our Big Sexy Chat podcast where we're going to go live a couple times a week, maybe once a week, just to come and talk with some other rad fatties, some amazing fat liberationists, and learn all about their products, their services, their businesses, and then their fat liberation. So today, I'm so excited. I'm here with Mara Kolaya. Yay! And Mara, happy Pride, first of all.
Thank you. Happy Pride.
It's the last day of Pride Month, right? June 30th.
Yep.
Every day should be Pride Day.
Uh,
I
yeah.
know.
Yeah.
I know you're in that very liberal place like I am. You're in Portland. I'm in San Jose in Northern California. So, fortunately, people are a lot of more love here than hate when it comes to queer people and fat people. But it's not that like that everywhere, as you know. So, I want everybody to know about your business. So, Big Moon Apothecary. Tell everybody what that is.
Yeah. Big Moon Apothecary is like a social justice oriented, fat positive, body liberation type of witchy shop, which I know is like a lot of stuff sort of crammed together. But we have a lot of like witchcraft supplies, but also fat art. Fat candles is like a really, I've got
Oh
some
yeah.
over
Oh,
here.
beautiful. Nice.
Right. And then my
Love
goal is to just really represent as many bodies as possible. Um,
How,
oh, my brain froze. My brain froze. Oh gosh.
how
Okay.
long how long have you been in Portland? I know you moved out there from North Carolina, right?
Yeah, I've only been in Portland since about mid-November, so not very long at all.
How was it living somewhere in I guess North Carolina is more like a red state, right?
I lived in a little blue bubble.
Oh, cool.
And I sort of thought like, oh, this is like so great compared to the very red small town that I grew up in.
Yeah.
And then when I came to Portland for the ASDA conference in 2018, it it blew my mind.
I bet.
It when you've never been somewhere else, the comparison is it's night and day. And I
I'm
just knew
sure.
immediately that I had to get my family out here.
Tell everybody real quick what ASTA is. What's that conference all about?
Oh, the Association for Size Diversity and Health. It was a great conference. I think 2018's theme was like intersectionality and inclusivity.
Great.
So there were a lot of speakers. They covered topics about health. Substantia Jones was there to talk about fat photography.
Mm-hmm.
There was a workshop on like somatic therapy,
Oh, good.
which was really amazing. And it was like a workshop on how to reconnect with our fat.
A lot of fat people live outside of our bodies, right? We're always on defense mode, right? We're always fight or flight. So sometimes we don't get to be like really in our bodies.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it was amazing. I
Mm.
spent a lot of the conference in the ER because of I kept having allergic reactions, but it was still the first time I had ever been in a room full of other fat people who were all there for this. Like I'm starting to tear up. Like it is a really emotional
It's
experience.
very powerful to be in community with other fat people, other queer fat people, other black and brown, fat, trans, queer people that are fat. I mean, there's nothing like it. It feels like you're home, like you're back in the womb. It just feels so empowering and powerful. It's amazing. And we got to both spend some time at the FatCon this year, the first FatCon ever in
Yes,
Seattle.
yes. Speaking of queerness, real quick, I just want to put out there that my pronouns are they, them.
Got it.
I'm non-binary.
Hmm.
But
Thanks.
yeah, FatCon was amazing. I had this moment at FatCon where I realized I wasn't afraid to be in my body.
Mm.
Like I've always pushed myself to put my body out there and on display as rebellion,
Yep.
right? Like it doesn't, even if I'm uncomfortable in my crop top and my shorts, I'm going to do it because it needs to be done.
Yep.
But at FatCon was the first time I realized that there was no discomfort in my body. There was no fear of how other people saw me.
That's rad. Wow. Yeah, living in a fat body is a political statement. I mean, you're being anti whatever that everybody wants us to be, right? We're just like living in a whole different world compared to people who are stuck in the diet culture still. They're my body is their worst nightmare, and I I wish that I could get through to everybody. I know you're trying to, and I know we glorify obesity, as if yeah, okay. We don't get free drinks when you're fat. So I just want to let you know it's hard to glorify obesity, but I like to glorify living and living out loud and living unapologetically. That's what I glorify.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Can't see it very well right now because of the sunlight, but I have
Oh yeah.
this is my glorifying obesity sign.
You
Unfortunately, the sun is like right behind it right now,
yeah.
but um
It's
yeah,
cool.
I wanted forever to have like a neon glorifying
I
obesity
love it.
sign, and when I got it, I was so excited.
It just cracks me up that people think we're glorifying it somehow. Like we're trying to talk people into eat more, get fatter. Come on. Come on
Mhm,
over here.
mhm.
Eat, eat, eat. Okay, we want you fat too. Like that's not happening. Nobody's doing that.
Yeah.
It's so silly. When did you become like comfortable with the word fat? When did you come out as fat?
Yeah, it was 2009.
Mm,
Quick trigger warning for talking about eating disorders.
hmm.
Um, so I have struggled with anorexia since I was 15. And so,
Atypical anorexia.
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, atypical. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like, well, you meet all of the diagnostic criteria, but you're fat, so you're atypical. But yeah.
Hmm.
Um, So 2009, I was doing that thing where like femmes especially tend to like bond over diet culture. So I was at my friend's house and I was talking about how few calories I had gotten my diet down to. And
Wow.
it was like a scary low amount.
Hmm.
Um and my friend just sort of was like, I got a book I want you to read. And it was Lessons from the Fatosphere by Kate
Yeah,
Harding and Marianne Kirby.
right.
And she gave me this book, and I still have it. It's like a cherished position now because it's sentimental.
Wow.
And it took me like 2 weeks to read it. I kept getting mad and setting it down.
Hmm.
And then like coming back, reading a bit more, getting mad, setting it down because it challenged my entire worldview.
Yeah.
Right. And there's
Hmm.
this sort of grief that comes with it when you realize that you didn't have to be in this much like turmoil and pain and self-hatred.
Right. Yeah.
But I am ultimately a science-based person, and the combination of especially the way like Marianne Kirby writes,
Hmm.
combined with the statistics and the studies and all that were in the book, it was like a switch flipped in my brain. And I was
Um,
like, okay, there's science on this.
yep.
And even if there's other competing science, it means that there's an uncertainty, that this is not like a carved in stone fact of the universe.
Exactly. Exactly. So well put. I agree. Who are some of your favorite fat liberationists? Who do you follow? Who do to inspire you?
Um, Reagan Chastain, who is like one of the first fat activists that I found,
Same.
um, has always been amazing.
She is.
And I like secretly hope that one day we become best friends.
Yes. I got to meet Reagan once in Santa Cruz. It was so exciting. I was definitely fangirling. She was there to
Oh,
do a conference, and I don't live that far from Santa Cruz, so I went over there, and oh my goodness, it was like, my little heart was fluttering. It was so exciting to me because she just really embodies all of fat liberation, right? I mean, there's lots of people that do, but
yeah.
she
Yeah.
was the first one I met in person. Although I have to say, I've known Tigris for a really long time. I've known Tigris for about, gosh, 20 years. So Tigris is probably the first person I ever met that was really, really out about, fat and unapologetic. And then And then I kind of got brought into this world more by Jess Baker's writings. But then I found Reagan pretty quickly after that. So I was like, Tigress, Jess, Reagan, three of the amazing people that are in this world. And I'm so fortunate to know all of them. So grateful to all of them too. I'm sure you are too. But who else besides Reagan do you follow or are inspired by?
Yeah, I follow Tigress. I follow Jess Baker. I love her writing because I feel like it's really down to earth,
It
like
is
really
very
straightforward.
accessible. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good word. Yes, very accessible. I love it.
Yeah.
I met Marilyn Wan at the ASDA conference,
Cool.
and we actually became friends. I
Aw.
needed a ride to the ER, and she's like, "I'll take you."
Aw.
And we belly bumped, and it was amazing. Yeah, Substantia Jones has always been a really powerful inspiration for me, especially for the Fat Naked Art Project, a
Yeah.
photography project that I do.
Which is because hers is called Out of Positivity. Yours is a Fat Naked Art Project, but the website is just fatnakedart.com.
Yes.
Okay, very cool. Yeah, tell people about that.
Yeah, so after I discovered fat liberation, I have this like rebellious streak in me, so I immediately got like mad at society, and I'm like, well, I'll show you. And I had always wanted to do like plus size modeling. So I
Mm-hmm.
went and I set up a profile on like Model Mayhem, and I started doing like local plus size modeling.
Cool.
And after about a year, I did my first nude shoot. And I looked at the photos, and it gave me such a new appreciation for my body, and I thought somebody needs to make more fat naked
Yeah,
art.
for sure. And there's
And as
potential.
with most things, I'm like, well, I can do it.
Yeah.
This is like that ADHD brain where it's like, well, I can do that.
Squirrel. That's me.
I love that necklace. I can make that for
Yeah.
4 times the price.
Yeah. Right. You make 10 cents an hour.
Yeah. Which is honestly how Big Moon Apothecary kind of came about as well. The this style was going around, and I was like, I got one and I used it in like a body positive spell work
Oh,
uh,
cool.
type of situation. Because there are in witchcraft, there are often like um, candles that are like a man and a woman, and it's like just very straightforward, like
Binary.
the same. And I'm like, why don't I get to see my body represented?
Yeah. Does,
And so
has anybody made those forms into soaps?
there are some soaps that I've seen that are the Venus of Willendorf soaps,
Oh, awesome. Yeah.
which are amazing. But I have not seen like any of these
Yeah.
styles
I've seen the
in
candles.
soap.
That's about it.
I am um here's a, I'll let you in on the secret. I actually am talking with a soap maker.
Oh,
And I am planning to make some molds out of the different candles that I have
nice.
so that we can actually make them into soaps and bath bombs.
Sweet. I love it.
And I also have started sculpting my own body so that I can get bodies that are not like easily found
Yeah,
in
thank you.
mold form.
It's
So
so funny when I notice a lot of people have a hard time seeing themselves as beautiful and their body is beautiful, but then when you hear them talk or reflect about other fat bodies that they think are so beautiful, but I'm like, how come you can't see that in your own body? Because like oftentimes when I'm talking to people like that, their body and my body are very similar, and I'm like, do you think I'm ugly or disgusting? Like, God, no, you're so beautiful. Well, so are you. You have the same exact body. And it just, I don't know. It's like some kind of cognitive dissonance we all have, right? When it comes to other people, I'm just like so flattering, and it's just I think it's so beautiful and lush and plush, and then people have a hard time seeing that in their own body.
I have photographed people for the Fat Naked Art Project who actually felt that way about themselves.
Mhm.
Um, and part of what I love doing with, fat photography is allowing people to see themselves in a new way.
Yeah.
I think that like phototherapy is really incredible and really powerful. Uh,
Selfies are very powerful too.
yeah,
Taking
yeah,
selfies and putting them out there and, showing people, fat people doing things like exercising, eating food, having fun, drinking drinks, playing games, living their life, dating, all the things that everybody else gets to do. We need to
yeah.
start documenting ourselves doing those kinds of things because, I mean, there's not enough, of course. There'll never be enough representation of fat bodies for sure. And then when you start adding on other intersections, it's just, this is a dearth of
Have you heard the
representation.
theory that the Venus of Willendorf statue is like the first selfie?
Yeah, I like that. Yeah. I like that.
Because everyone's like, oh, it's fertility goddess, because that surely can't just be a normal human body. It must be
Yeah,
some sort of exaggeration.
sure. Yeah. Yeah.
But there was a researcher who put a theory out there based on sort of the way the statue is composed. It looks like somebody looking down at their own body.
It does.
And that it's basically the first historical selfie,
I love
which
it.
I think is amazing. I love that so much.
She's so beautiful. That's just a beautiful, and it's ancient. I like, fat people are not new. We've been around since the beginning of time. And just like fat people have pregnancies and babies, and we've been doing that since the beginning of time. But nowadays, I know people are so concerned if you're fat and you're pregnant. Oh, who knows? I'm like, we know what's going to happen because that's how we're all still here. We know it works. We're good.
Yeah, I had a baby while fat.
Did you?
I did, yeah. My kid has actually just turned 18.
Oh gosh.
Um,
Oh,
I was 21 years old when I gave birth,
wow.
but yeah, I remember having to do the glucose test, and
Gestational
everything
diabetes.
came back fine. So they're like, do it again.
Of course, yeah.
I couldn't drink orange soda for 7 years.
Jeez, right. I know. It's whenever I go to the doctor and they take my blood pressure, they keep taking it and keep taking it. And I'm like, what's wrong? No, nothing. It's like 120 over 75. I'm like, yeah, it's my blood pressure most of the time. That's what it is. Unless you people make me fucking nervous and mad and anxious, it's going to go up. If you keep taking my goddamn blood pressure, it's going to go up. I promise you, because I'm going to snap soon. They just can't imagine that I have good blood pressure because I'm so fat. So
Yeah.
it's unfortunate. But I want you to tell people a little bit more about your online store. And I know one day you want to probably have you want to try to have a brick and mortar. But tell me about Moon Apothecary.
Yeah, so first I want to like talk about the brick and mortar, because this is
Here.
my dream.
Okay.
But I don't just want a store with fat stuff in it.
Yeah.
I want a community space. I want to have like a whole space within the store dedicated to comfy couches and chairs that work for everybody. And I want to have a space for people to feel safe.
Yeah.
So yeah, right now we're doing a lot of like vending, and being disabled has made it a real challenge.
Sure.
Because I'm like multiply disabled.
Mm-hmm.
But we just put up some trans body candles,
Oh, nice.
which I'm really excited about. They're not fat candles, but I am working on sculpting some fat trans body candles.
Beautiful.
I just got notified that my shipment of the fat tarot deck,
Oh,
fat
cool.
tarot,
Mm-hmm.
has shipped. So I'm like really excited to get
Oh,
those and
yeah,
get
yeah.
those up in the shop. Yeah, there's fat art on there. There's some prints from the Fat Naked Art Project. lots of different candles, a couple of tarot decks. Like, it's just, you gotta go and sort of like explore. There's lots of little things to click on and all of that kind of thing. We have a TikTok
Yeah,
uh,
sure.
under Big Moon Apothecary, Instagram under Big Moon Apothecary, Facebook under Big Moon Apothecary. We're on all
Good.
the things.
Yeah, that's great.
If
You
you
have
go
to
to
be
my main
noticed.
TikTok, yes, I'm glorifying obesity. I've got the link tree that
Sure.
goes to all of the things.
Right. Yeah. You bad girl glorifying obesity. I mean,
Yeah.
you don't go by girl. Sorry, my mistake. But bad Mara.
Also a Patreon.
Good. Very
So
good.
right now I don't have a whole lot of patrons. So if anybody
Yes.
wants to join my
Yes.
Patreon, we've got a tier that's like fat stickers.
Perfect. Cool.
Like, I collect stickers because
Mhm.
I am the type of autistic who is obsessed with stationery.
I know a few of those.
Yeah.
It's a thing. It's a thing
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, so there's a sticker tier where like every once in a while I just like send out some random stickers because
Fun.
I have them.
Yeah, yeah.
There's a tier that's like fat stuff where you just get like, you know, maybe it'll be a candle, maybe it'll be pottery, who knows? Maybe it'll
Cool.
be some art prints.
Cool.
Um,
Well, I'll get all that information from you, and I'll definitely put all those links on our YouTube channel, and I'll go around to the different live videos and make sure that I put your Instagram and TikTok and everything in those chats as well, so people can find you if they're interested. And I'm sure that a lot of people are going to want to know how to find you and how to stay in touch with you and become part of your community, especially if they're in Oregon.
yeah, yeah, I appreciate that so much.
Of course, our producer of our podcast, Ashley, she lives in Bend, Oregon, and she's creating a new, like a cuddle salon, a cuddle business to help people who need a little more skin on skin and cuddling a therapy. So she's getting ready to open that probably in about a month or so in
Oh
Bend. And
my
she's so excited.
gosh.
I know, it's so cool.
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna have to check that out.
For
I
sure.
absolutely love that. So
Yeah.
many of us are touch starved, not only after the pandemic and quarantine
Yeah.
and all that, but even just like as fat people,
Oh yeah.
you
Mhm.
know? Um,
Yeah. Well,
I love that. Yeah, I love that so much.
a lot of time we're afraid of having people touch our bodies, right? And especially touching our fat. So silly. But I mean, that's me for like my first 45 years. So, you know,
Oh, yeah. My wife used to, when we would cuddle, she would like put her arm around me over my belly, and I would always like pull it up to like like that's the smallest part, like
right.
just
Yeah.
under my chest.
Been there, done that.
Um, yeah.
It's crazy, isn't it? We're all, yeah, we're all programmed to believe that there's something wrong with our bodies. And that's unfortunate. That's what we're in the business, right, Mara? That's why we're in this world, to help people to learn to love their roles and their bodies exactly as they exist right now, not in 50 pounds from now, not in just right this second. We don't know if we're going to even be here tomorrow. So you gotta try to at least try to find it. I know it's not everybody's able to find the love for their roles and stuff, but I'd like to try to help people along their journey if they want some help.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah,
That's the goal. Just help people.
help
Just
as much
make
as
the
we
world
can.
a little bit better.
Yes, right. Absolutely, I'm with you. Well, thank you, Mara. Thanks for doing this with me. I really appreciate it, and I'll make sure that everybody knows more about Big Moon Apothecary and the Naked Art Project, and also there seems like there's a third one that you mentioned. What else is there? Fatnakedart.com. Oh, glorifying obesity. That was it. Cool. Thanks so much. I'll talk with you soon.
Oh,
Okay.
my main TikTok. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Glorifying
All right.
obesity.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Take care. Bye. I can do this. My mouse locked up. Sorry, y'all. There we go. And stream.